Hello, and in this session, we are going to solve 35 questions of verbal ability, and we get going with the first one. It is a parajumble sentence rearrangement. All right. It doesn't take a highly esteemed medical expert to conclude that women handle pain better than men. The first sentence, okay. First, the men would give birth and then take 6 months to recover. As for labor pains, the human species would become extinct if men had to give birth. They do, however, make life hell for everyone else with their non-stop complaining about how bad they feel. Okay. अब यहाँ पे we could start with C because they आया है, but we are not very sure about it. So let's hold it. The men in my life, including my husband and my father, would not take a Tylenol for pain even if their lives depend on it. Okay. And by the time they finish sharing their excruciating experience with their buddies, all reproduction would come to a halt. अब आप देखो यहाँ पे if you talk about number 6, so this is in clean association with A and B. And if you see D and C, they are a kind of mandatory pair. वो एक कहते नहीं है, एक ऐसा पेयर है जो एक साथ ही रहना है. The men in my life, including my husband and my father, would not take a Tylenol for pain even if their lives depend on it. So you've got D and you got C. They do, however, make life hell for everyone else with their non-stop complaining about how they feel. Now A and B. Okay. अब आप अगर 6 देखो, and by the time they finish, यहाँ पे must to recover, and जब तक वो बताना खत्म करेंगे. Basis this, आप देखोगे तो first comes B and then comes A, and finally we have got number 6. As for the labor pains, the human species would become extinct if men had to give birth. First the men would give birth and then take 6 months to recover, and by the time they finish sharing their excruciating experience with their buddies, all reproduction would come to a halt. So D, C, B, A, answer is B for Bombay. We move to the next one. A few years ago, hostility towards Japanese Americans was so strong that I thought they were going to reopen the detention camps in Kolkata. Today, Asians are a success story. I cannot help making a comparison to the anti-Jewish sentiment in Nazi Germany when Jewish people were successful in business. But do people applaud President Clinton for improving foreign trade with Asia? Now, talk about the Kansas-Asia connection is broadening that hatred to include all Asian Americans. No. Blinded by jealousy, they complain that it is the Asian Americans who are reaping the wealth. अब आप देखो जो 6th sentence है, this is basically, it is an answer, yes and no, right? And answer अगर है तो question होना चाहिए, question is C. So we are ending on C. So this is eliminated. Now you got D, A and D. How do we start? A says, today Asians are a success story, and D says, now talk about the Kansas-Asia connection is broadening that hatred to include all Asian Americans. अब आप देखो यहाँ पे that hatred है, okay? It is pointing out to some kind of emotion. वो emotion पहले बात होना चाहिए. Hostility towards Japanese. So we start with, we start with D because hostility and that hatred, they are connected. So start with D means we have got these two options. Is it DB or is it DA? All right, let's check it. Now talk about Arkansas-Asia connection is broadening that hatred to include all Asian Americans. Okay. Today, Asians are a success story. I cannot help making a comparison to the anti-Jewish sentiment in Nazi Germany when Jewish people were successful in business. Okay. अब क्या है वो B बता रहा है कि comparison इसको वहां से मिल रहा है, कहां से? From Nazi Germany. And then they say, today Asians are a success story. All right. But do people talk? I think we start with D anyway, and then we give them a point that comparison कहां से हो रहा है? Jewish community जो कि successful थी business में, और आज Asians हैं. So I think it will be, you start with D, then you come to B, then you go with A, and then you come to C. So it will be D, B, A, and C. That is the answer for this one, that is A. All right, we move to the next one, that is number 3. All right. Okay, number 3. Michael Jackson, clearly no admirer of long engagements, got married abruptly for the second time in 3 years. Okay. The latest wedding took place in a secret midnight ceremony in Sydney, Australia. It is also the second marriage for the new Mrs., about whom little is known. The wedding was attended by the groom's entourage and staff, according to Jackson's publicist. The bride, 37-year-old Debbie Rowe, who is carrying Jackson's baby, wore white. All that is known is that she is a nurse for Jackson's dermatologist. All right. अब यहाँ पे कनेक्शन था कहीं पे, अगर आप फ्री फॉल पढ़ रहे हो. It is also the second marriage for the new Mrs., about whom little is known. All that is known. So we are ending with B, which means all the three options, they get automatically eliminated. Now still, let's check it out if we are doing the right thing or not. The latest wedding took place in a secret midnight ceremony in Sydney, Australia. All right. The wedding was attended by the groom's entourage and staff, according to Jackson's publicist. The bride, 37-year-old Debbie Rowe, who is carrying Jackson's baby, wore white. It is also the second marriage for the new Mrs., about whom little is known. All that is known is that she is a nurse for Jackson's dermatologist. I think we are okay with this one. Answer for number 3 is again A. Next, Liz Taylor isn't just unlucky in love. She and husband Larry Forensky will have to pay the tab, $432,600 in court costs. The duo claimed that a 1993 story about a property dispute damaged their reputations. Taylor had just filed a defamation suit against the National Enquirer. She is unlucky in law too. Alas, all levels of the California court system disagreed. Now, free fall पढ़ते पढ़ते इतना तो हमें समझ में आ गया. Is unlucky in love, she is unlucky in law too. So we're starting with D. All right. And if you are smart enough, you'll figure out, alas, all levels of California court system disagreed. Disagreed in what? The duo claimed that a 1993 story about a property dispute damaged their reputations. So we are ending with B, and hence between B and C, answer is D, A, C, B. एक बार पढ़ लेते हैं. Liz Taylor isn't just unlucky in love. She is unlucky in law too. She and husband Larry will have to pay the tab in court costs. The duo claimed that a 1993 story about a property dispute damaged their reputations. Alas, all levels of the California court system disagree. So answer is B for question number 4. We move ahead to the next. Hiss was serving as head of endowment on August 3, 1948, when Whittaker Chambers reluctantly appeared before the House Un-American Activities Committee. एक बंदा कुछ कर रहा था, दूसरा फिर कमिटी के सामने अपीयर होता है. Chambers, a portly, rumpled man with a melodramatic style, had been a communist courier but had broken with the party in 1938. This is where they have introduced Chambers tha kaun bhai. When Nixon arranged a meeting of the two men in New York, Chambers repeated his charges and his denials. Now, यहाँ पे repeat किया, इसका मतलब पहले charges का बात होना चाहिए कहीं पे. Summoned as a witness, Hiss denied that he had ever been a communist or had known Chambers. He told the committee that among the members of a secret communist cell in Washington during the 1930s was Hiss. Okay. And then bizarrely Hiss asked Chambers to open his mouth. अब आप देखो यहाँ पे क्या sequence बन रहा है. Whittaker, and then they gave the description में Whittaker कैसा दिखता था? A portly, rumpled man with melodramatic style. So we are anyway starting with A. Okay. फिर एक पहले उन्होंने चार्जेस लगाए, फिर उन्होंने डिनायल का बात किया, रिपीट का बात किया है. ओके. अब क्या है? Chambers ऐसा था, then he told, because he was the one who was appearing before the committee. He told the committee that among the members of a secret communist cell in Washington during the 1930s was Hiss. All right. So A followed by D. So this is gone. Now you got AD and AD, BC या CB. Okay. Summoned as a witness, Hiss denied that he ever been a communist or had known Chambers. Okay. When Nixon arranged a meeting of two men in New York, जब न्यूयॉर्क में दोबारा मिलने को बोला, Chambers repeated his charges and his denials. All right. So we are ending with B and your answer is A, D, C, B. पढ़ लेते हैं एक बार because ऐसे थोड़ा confusion हो जाता है कभी कभार. A says Chambers, a portly rumpled man with a melodramatic style, had been a communist courier but had broken with the party in 1938. He told the committee that among the members of a secret communist cell in Washington during the 1930s was his. Summoned as a witness, Hiss denied that he had ever been a communist or had known Chambers. When Nixon arranged a meeting of the two men in New York, Chambers repeated his charges, पहले जो charge लगाए थे, and his denials. Then, bizarrely, Hiss asked Chambers to open his mouth. Answer is C. We move to the next question. Since its birth, rock has produced a long string of guitar heroes. Okay, rock, music वाला वो पत्थर वाला rock नहीं है. It is a list that would begin with Chuck Berry and continue with Hendrix, Page, and Clapton. These are musicians celebrated for their sheer instrumental talent and their flair for expansive, showy, and sometimes self-indulgent shows. Because rock stars basically. It would also include players of more recent vintage like Van Halen and Living Colour's Women Reed. But with the advent of alternative rock and grunge, guitar heroism became uncool. Guitarists like Peter Buck and Kurt Cobain shy away from exhibitionism. Okay, now again, free fall ने हमको इतना idea दे दिया है. क्या दे दिया है? It is a list that would begin, okay, with Chuck Berry and continue with Hendrix, Page, and Clapton. It would also include. So you've got A and then you got C. भाई heroes का list है. उसमें कौन कौन आएगा? Hendrix, Page, and Clapton, and it would also include players of more recent vintage like these two. These are musicians celebrated for their. So you got A, C, B, and D, and clean cut answer यहाँ पे A है, that is A, C, B, and D. This was one of the easier ones. हमने आराम से कर लिया इसको. We move ahead to the next question. For many scientists, oceans are a cradle of life. Okay. But all over the world, chemical products and nuclear waste continue to be dumped into them. आपके पास एक pronoun मिल गया है, तो ideally आपको इशारा मिल गया है कि शायद first sentence सही होगा. Coral reefs, which are known to be the most beautiful places of the submarine world, are fast disappearing. The result is that many species of fish die because of this pollution. Of course, man is the root cause behind these problems. Man has long since ruined the places he visits, continents and oceans alike. Okay. Oceans के लिए they have used the word them. So we start with A. So B wala gone. Alright. Now you've got A, C or A, B. Coral reefs, which are known to be most beautiful places of the submarine world, are fast disappearing. The result is that many species of fish die because of this pollution. अब यहाँ पे जो एक न्यूक्लियर वेस्ट जो डंप कर रहा है, इससे पोल्यूट हो रहा है, उससे क्या हो रहा है? The result is that many species die. So you've got A and C, and then they talk about a different thing, that is coral reef. Then they say, of course, man is the root cause behind these problems. So you've got B, and finally you end with D. So answer for question number 7 is A. Next. Am I one of those people who are worried that Bill Clinton's second term might be destroyed by the constitutional crisis? Okay. On the other hand, ordinary citizens have put the campaign behind them. In other words, what worries me is that Bill Clinton could exhibit a version of what George Bush used to refer to as Big Mo. That is, he might have so much campaign momentum that he may not be able to stop campaigning. Well, it's true that I have been wondering whether the president could be impeached for refusing to stop talking about the bridge we need to build to the 21st century. They now prefer to watch their favorite soaps and ads on TV rather than senators. All right. Now, if we are smart enough, we will figure out that out here, they is about ordinary citizens. So we are ending on A. If you talk about ending on A, you've got two options, that is D, B, C, A or C, B, D, A. How do we start? Okay. Am I one of the people who are worried that Bill Clinton's second term might be destroyed by the constitutional crisis? अब देखो constitutional crisis का अगर हम बात करते हैं तो अगला वर्ड यहाँ पे impeach वाला यहाँ पड़ता है, which means, well, it's true that I've been wondering whether a president could be impeached for refusing to stop talking about the bridge we need to build to the 21st century. In other words, what worries me, फिर से वही बात, तो clean दिखाई पड़ रहा है यहाँ पे. You are starting with D, carrying on with B, then C, and finish it off with A. So answer for this one is again A. I don't know why I keep saying again. मेरे को लगता है A पहले भी आया होगा, but yes, all right, answer A है. Number 9. So how big is the potential market? But they end up spending thousands more each year on hardware overhaul and software upgradation. And let's say the new machines will appeal primarily to corporate users. An individual buyer can pick up a desktop computer for less than $2,000 in America. For them, the NC's best drawing card is its promise of much lower maintenance cost. NC's which automatically load the latest version of whatever software they need could put an end to that, to all that. I think अब आप देखो यहाँ पे तो to all that में यहाँ पे problem है कि they end up spending thousands of more. So we are ending with B. Last sentence मिल गया अगर first हमें नहीं मिल पाया तो, but I think first भी हमें मिल जाएगा. But they end up spending thousands more and we are finishing with NCs. Okay. So how big is the potential market? And let's say, okay, the new machines will appeal primarily to corporate users. Oh, sorry. I think यहाँ पे हमने गलती क्या किया है? It should be we are ending with A. Okay, A पे end कर रहे हैं हम लोग. तो A पे end करने का तो एक ही option है यहाँ पे. We start with B. Okay, and let's say that new machines will appeal primarily to corporate users. For them, the NC's best drawing card is its promise of much lower maintenance cost. An individual buyer can pick up a desktop computer for less than this, but they end up, okay, so I think we are going for, and let's say, then we go for them, the best card is from a lower maintenance cost, then an individual, that will be D, and then C, and then A. Let us read क्योंकि इसमें थोड़ा सा ना कुछ खटक रहा है मेरे को. Let's just finish it off by reading it. How big is the potential market? And let's say that the new machines will appeal primarily to corporate users. For them, the NC's best drawing card is its promise of much lower maintenance cost. An individual buyer can pick up a desktop computer for less than $2,000 in America, but they end up spending thousands more each year on hardware overhaul and software upgradation. NCs, which automatically load the latest version of whatever software they need, could put an end to all that. Perfectly okay. B, D, C, and A. Answer is C for this one. Move to the next one. Number 10. Historically, stained glass was almost entirely reserved for ecclesiastical spaces. All right. By all counts, he has accomplished. So A se to start ho nahi raha because we don't know who he is out here. It is my mission to bring it kicking and screaming out of that milieu. जो ये रिजर्व था इस चीज के लिए, इसको हम बाहर निकाल के और यूजर्स के लिए बाहर ला रहे हैं. ये कोई बंदा बोल रहा है चिलेस क्लार्क. The first was the jewel-like windows he designed for a Cistercian church in Switzerland. 2 recent projects show his genius in the separate worlds of the sacred and the mundane. The second was a spectacular huge skylight in a shopping complex in Brazil. Okay, now the first, the second. So we are ending with C. This is gone. Okay, and I think we are starting with B because यहीं पे पहली बार नाम आया है किसी बंदे का. Okay, B, A, D, C is the only option. बाकी आपके पास option है नहीं. Let us check it out. It is my first mission to bring it kicking and screaming out of that milieu, says Clark. By all counts, he has accomplished that mission with unmistakable style. Okay. 2 recent projects show his genius in the separate worlds of the sacred and the mundane. The first was, the second was. Okay, we are cool with this. Answer is B for Bombay. We move ahead to the next one. Find the odd word from each. Okay, ये तो vocab पे बेटा हमारा depend करता है, but I think we should be cool enough with this one. Impetuosity, equanimity, zealousness, and effervescence. Now, all these 3, they talk about action with enthusiasm without much thought. This is the odd one क्योंकि ये calm and cool होके बात कर रहा है, action ले रहा है. So answer is B. Then you have number 12, drip, intrusion, percolation, and effluence. All right, again, drip, percolation, and effluence. ये सारे के सारे liquid से associated हैं. Intrusion is like a solid form. जब आप इंट्रूड करते हैं किसी के एरिया में, यू एंटर, ऑलराइट। सो आंसर इज अगेन बी फॉर बॉम्बे। नंबर 13, डुप्लिसिटी, गाइललेसनेस, आर्टफुलनेस एंड shrewdness। ओके, डुप्लिसिटी, आर्टफुलनेस, shrewdness, सब बात करता है जो है शाणे लोगों का। एक ही है जिसके पास गाइल नहीं है, वो गाइल लेस है। तो आंसर इज बी, बिकॉज वी आर अगेन सीकिंग ऑड वर्ड। ओके, नेक्स्ट वन, टैक्सी, क्रूजर, एम्बल एंड कैब। नाउ टैक्सी, क्रूजर एंड कैब, सारे व्हीकल्स का बात कर रहा है। एम्बल सिंपली इट्स अ वे, इट्स द वे अ पर्सन वॉक्स, एम्बल कर रहा है, धीरे चल रहा है। ओके, तो आंसर इज सी। नेक्स्ट वन, हाइएटस, ब्रेक, पॉज या फिर एंड। ये सारे ब्रेक एंड पॉज की बात करते हैं, ये खत्म होने की बात कर देता है। लाइक दिस वीक आई टुक अ ब्रेक फॉर 3-4 days, आई वाज ट्राइंग टू सेट अप माय इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बैकअप एट होम, नाउ दैट वी हैव डन। और अभी लाइट नहीं आ रही यार, बस पंखा नहीं चल रहा मेरे भाई, बाकी सब रिकॉर्डिंग सही चल रही है। ओके, सो आंसर इज इट वाजंट द एंड ऑफ माय चैनल, इट वाज जस्ट अ पॉज, जस्ट अ ब्रेक, जस्ट अ हाइएटस। थोड़ा लंबा होता है हाइएटस, खैर ये छोटा है। तो ओके, next we move to question number 16. Analogous relationship है, देख लेते हैं भाई, liquid and gaseousness. Alright, liquid है वो सीधे गैस की तरफ जा रहा है। Serum and fume, humid and arid, humid है, dry है, I don't think ये आंसर होगा हमारा। Smoke and cloud भी आंसर नहीं होगा। Thaw, जो defrost करते हैं जो बर्फ को, तो again this has got nothing to do with distill. Answer is serum है और वो सीधे gaseous fume के फॉर्म में जा रहा है, दैट इज ए। फिशन एंड फ्यूजन, इंप्लोजन है, अंदर धमाका, एक्सप्लोजन बाहर। इंट्रूजन एंड एक्सट्रूजन, सेपरेशन एंड कॉम्बिनेशन, एनिमी एंड फ्रेंड। आप देखो फिजन में सेपरेट होता है, फ्यूजन में कंबाइन कर जाता है, हेंस आंसर इज बी फॉर बॉम्बे। नेक्स्ट वन, डाउट एंड फेथ। ओके, डाउट है और फेथ है। अथीस्ट एंड रिलीजन, iconoclast and idol. Iconoclast is somebody I think you, बेटा इसको देख लेना जरा यार, आई एम नॉट वेरी श्योर अबाउट इट। स्केप्टिक तो डाउटर्स है, ठीक है। पायस प्योर है, अगेन कोई रिलेशनशिप इसमें नहीं हो रहा है। अपोस्टेट एंड स्टेट में भी कोई रिलेशनशिप नहीं हो रहा है। देयर इज ओनली वन, दैट इज अथीस्ट को किसी फेथ में जो है वो भरोसा नहीं है। सो डाउट एंड फेथ, अथिज्म एंड रिलीजन। ऑलराइट, सो आंसर फॉर 18 इज नेक्स्ट, ब्रिक एंड बिल्डिंग, बहुत सिंपल होना चाहिए यार। वर्ड एंड डिक्शनरी, अल्फाबेट एंड लेटर, ईडियम एंड लैंग्वेज, प्लाटून एंड सोल्जर। बिल्डिंग जो है वो ब्रिक से बनता है, ऐसे ही डिक्शनरी आपका वर्ड से बन जाता है। हमने आंसर यहां पे सीधे सीधे चिपका दिया, दैट इज ए। ऑलराइट, नेक्स्ट वन, dulcet and raucous. A dulcet is a sweet kind of sound and raucous is a harsh kind of sound. तो आप देख लो शायद एंटोनिम हो गया। ओके, स्वीट सॉन्ग, पैलिएटिव, एक्सास्पेरेटिंग, क्रेजी एंड इनसेन, थ्योरी एंड प्रैक्टिकल। थ्योरी प्रैक्टिकल एंटोनिम तो है नहीं, क्रेजी इनसेन तो सिनोनिम ही हो गया काइंड ऑफ। स्वीट सॉन्ग एडजेक्टिव में नाउन हो गया। पैलिएटिव एंड एक्सास्पेरेटिंग, पैलिएटिव माने दर्द कम कर रहा है, एक्सास्पेरेट माने वो बढ़ा रहा है, तो वो एंटोनिम्स पे आ गया। तो 20th इज अगेन सी। नेक्स्ट 21st, एक्शन रिएक्शन। ओके, इंट्रोवर्ट एक्सट्रोवर्ट ऑपोजिट्स है। डिजीज एंड ट्रीटमेंट, assail and defend, death and rebirth. Okay, very close now. बेटा एक्शन हुआ, उसका एक रिएक्शन हो रहा है। आई थिंक बेस्ट पॉसिबल रिलेशनशिप यहां पे assail and defend है। किसी ने अटैक किया और रिएक्शन में हमने उसको डिफेंड किया हुआ है। सो आंसर फॉर दिस इज बी फॉर बॉम्बे। ऑल राइट, वी मूव टू द नेक्स्ट वन, दैट विल बी नंबर 22। 22 फिगर ऑफ स्पीच अगर आपने पढ़ा होगा, जो मैंने पढ़ाए थे 4-5, तो आपको ये आराम से सॉल्व हो जाएगा आपसे। मैलअप्रोपिज्म एंड वर्ड्स, एनाक्रोनिज्म एंड टाइम, जिनजैंथ्रोपिज्म, सुना नहीं कभी, एप्स एप्लिप्सिस जो बीच में छोड़ते हैं वर्ड्स एंड सेंटेंसेस, कैटेसिज्म एंड रिलीजन। ये कुछ क्रिश्चियंस, उसमें क्रिश्चियनिटी में शायद क्वेश्चन आंसर होता है, उसी का कुछ रिलेशन है इसका। तो एनीवे, व्हाट इज मैलअप्रोपिज्म एंड वर्ड्स? जिस वर्ड को जहां यूज करना था उसके बदले उसके जैसे किसी गलत वर्ड को इस्तेमाल कर दिया। एंड सेम टाइम एनाक्रोनिज्म है, आप किसी एक टाइम पीरियड की बात करते हैं और बोलते हैं यार जब पता है 1930s में इंटरनेट कितना फास्ट चलता था, दैट इज एनाक्रोनिज्म, गलत। तो यहां पे आंसर इज ए। लास्ट वन फ्रॉम दिस सीरीज, एंटीरियर posterior. Okay, in and out, head and tail, top and bottom, front and rear. Alright, I think anterior posterior का best option यहाँ पे front and rear होगा. तो answer is D for Delhi. 24 to 29 क्या कह रहा है? In each of the following questions, a part of a sentence is left blank. Choose from among the 4 options given below each question the one which would fill the blank. Okay, ठीक है. अब ऐसे क्वेश्चंस में ना बेटा आपको अगेन यू हैव टू काइंड ऑफ फॉल बैक ऑन योर इंस्टिंक्ट्स ऑफ द नॉलेज ऑफ द लैंग्वेज. कितना आपने रीड किया हुआ है, कौन सा सेंटेंस ऑन द गट फील सही हो रहा है. हाँ, ग्रामर पे फोकस करते रहिएगा बिकॉज ग्रामर विल हेल्प यू एलिमिनेट द ऑप्शंस. क्या ये तो ग्रामेटिकली इनकरेक्ट हो रहा है, तो दिस कैन नॉट बी द आंसर. ओके, वी हैव द फर्स्ट सेंटेंस. इट सेज व्हेन वी कॉल अदर्स डॉगमैटिक व्हाट वी रियली ऑब्जेक्ट टू इज. ओके, डॉगमा जो कुछ बिलीफ्स होते हैं कि यार ये और उनका कोई प्रूफ नहीं है सच होने का, बट वो बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग बिलीव होते हैं लोगों के. ओके ओके, व्हेन वी कॉल अदर्स डॉगमैटिक व्हाट वी रियली ऑब्जेक्ट टू इज दे आर गिविंग द डॉग अ बैड नेम. तो ये तो कुछ मतलब ही नहीं बना इसका, तो ठीक है. दे आर होल्डिंग डॉगमास दैट आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम आवर ओन. बेसिकली बात यह है कि चूंकि हमारी जो बिलीव्स हैं उनके उनसे डिफरेंट है, तो हमें उनसे प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. ओके, द एक्सट्रीमिज्म दैट गोज अलॉन्ग विद इट. जरूरी नहीं है कि एक्सट्रीमिज्म जा रहा हो यहां पे. द सबवर्जन, द अंडरमाइनिंग, द वीकनिंग ऑफ व्हाटएवर दे एक्चुअली बिलीव इन कॉन्कोमिटेंटली. नहीं, ये तो आपका कॉन्ट्रास्ट में जा ही नहीं रहा है. ऑलराइट, सो ओनली ऑप्शन वी आर लेफ्ट विद इज बी फॉर बॉम्बे. दे आर होल्डिंग डॉगमास दैट आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम आवर ओन. हमें और कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बस इतनी सी दिक्कत है कि जो हम बिलीव करते हैं वो उसमें बिलीव नहीं करते हैं, तो वो गलत हो गया भाई हमारे लिए. I am an entertainer. I have to keep smiling because in my heart, laughter and sorrow have an affinity. Okay, I am an entertainer. Even if I have tears in my eyes, I have to keep smiling. Even though I am depressed inside, I have to keep smiling. While entertaining people, I have to keep smiling because in my heart, बेटा यहाँ पे देखो laughter and sorrow एक साथ जा रहा है यहाँ पे. In the entertainment business, I have to. I think और probably आप भी agree करोगे यहाँ पे best possible answer A है. Even if I have tears in my eyes, I have to keep smiling because in my heart, laughter and sorrow have an affinity. So laughter, smile and sorrow जो आंसुओं का बात कर रहा है. So answer for number 25 is A. We move to the next question, that is 26. The stock markets, the state they are in right now speaks volumes about this fact. Okay. इस तो होगा नहीं, stock markets है. Okay. The state they are in right now speaks volumes about this fact. Okay, the stock markets are used to trade, are the best indicators, are not used to. यार ये used to जो है ना, ये छोटे छोटे चीजों के लिए यूज करते हैं हम लोग, स्टॉक मार्केट्स के लिए हम ये यूज नहीं करते. तो these are eliminated. Answer is B. Are the best indicators of public sentiment. The state they are in right now speaks volumes about this fact. Okay, so answer B हो गया, पहले बता दिया हमने. 27. Political power is just as permanent as today's newspaper. 10 years down the line, अब से 10 साल बाद, the most powerful man in any state today. Who cares? Who cares? आगे का बात कर रहा है. Nobody will remember what was written in today's newspaper, or few will know or care about. When a lot of water will have passed under the bridge, who will care? All right. अब आप देखो, A हो नहीं सकता because grammatically set नहीं हो रहा है. 10 years down the line, will is a better option. Okay. Nobody will remember what was written in today's newspaper, or few will know or care about the most powerful man in any state today. Okay. When a lot of water will have passed under the bridge, who will care the most power? Who will care about नहीं है यहाँ पे, तो this is gone. All right. Or the most powerful man in any state today. Again यहाँ पे you are missing the connector, that is about. तो आपके पास बेटा एक ही आंसर बचा, that is few will know or care about the most powerful man in any state today. आज की बात आगे कोई खास उस पर ध्यान देगा नहीं. So answer for this is C. Number 28. The more they remain the same. Okay, people all over the world change. The more they remain the same. बेटा इस पे देखो ना, आप वो कह रहे हो the more बोल रहा है, तो the more एक कॉम्बो होता ना, the more the better. तो बेसिकली दोनों साइड पे the वाला आपके पास कंपैरेटिव डिग्री एडजेक्टिव होना चाहिए, जो कि यहां पे नहीं है. द मोर दे आर डिफरेंट, द मोर दे रिमेन द सेम, द मोर पीपल चेंज, the more they remain the same, the less people change, the more they remain the same. मेरे ख्याल से less की तो बात नहीं होगी, the more people change. यहाँ पे they है तो pronoun हमें नहीं पता they किसके लिए use किया. This is gone. Answer is B for Bombay. The more people change, the more they remain the same. क्योंकि it is better not to use people rather than the more they. Okay, क्योंकि they बाद में pronoun use किया है for the noun people. So answer is B. Last of this series. Although it has been more than 50 years since Satyajit Ray made Pathar Panchale, refused to go away from the mind. The haunting images, its haunting images, its haunted images, the haunt of its images. Clean कर दे बेटा, कोई doubt नहीं होना चाहिए. It is B for Bombay, its haunting images. किसके? पत्थर पंचाली के haunting images. All right. 35. In each of the following questions, a part of the paragraph or sentences has been underlined. Okay. From the choices given to you, you are required to choose the one which would best replace the underlined part. जरूरी नहीं है कि रिप्लेस करना ही हो, और आप नोट करोगे तो पहला जो ए ऑप्शन होता है ना, वो हमेशा इस केस में जो रहेगा वो हमेशा पहला ही जो अंडरलाइन पार्ट है वही रहता है. अगेन यूज ग्रामर. कौन से ऐसे सेंटेंस हैं जो ग्रामेटिकली फिट नहीं हो रहे हैं, एलिमिनेट देम, देन यू गो टू द थॉट प्रोसेस. ओके. The Romanians may be restive under Soviet direction, but they are tied to Moscow by ideological and military links. Okay, they are tied to Moscow by ideological and military links. A. They are preparing for a great revolution. May be restive and they are preparing. ये तो सेट नहीं हो रहा है क्योंकि यहां पे कॉन्ट्रास्ट है, बट, और ये कॉन्ट्रास्ट नहीं कि रेस्टिव है एंड दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग होना चाहिए. ऐसा थोड़ा रेस्टिव है बट दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग. ओके, सो वी एलिमिनेट करते चलो यार, भूल जाते हैं. वी एलिमिनेट बी. Secretly they rather enjoy the prestige of being protected by the mighty Soviets. There is nothing they can do about it. And आप देखो यहाँ पे जब बात डायरेक्शन की हो रही है तो it is about ideology. तो the best answer still remains A. जो लिखा है वही आंसर है हमारा. They are tied to Moscow by ideological and military links. Okay. Direction was the catchword. In a penetrating study, CBS TV focuses on these people without hope, whose bodies are cared for by welfare aid, but whose spirit is often neglected by a disinterested society. Okay. So, whose से ही होना चाहिए, तो you've got A and C. Sorry. Whose hopelessness may be alleviated. अब अगर स्पिरिट नेग्लेक्टेड है तो होपलेसनेस एलिवेट कैसे होगा? इट कैन नॉट बी, राइट? सो आंसर ये कट हो गया. अगेन आंसर इज ए. थोड़ा ग्रामर लगाया, थोड़ा कॉमन सेंस लगाया, एंड देयर गो विद द आंसर. वी मूव अहेड. नंबर 32. हट जा भाई. Contemplating whether to exist with an insatiable romantic temperament, he was the author and largely the subject of a number of memorable novels. All right. Contemplating whether to exist with an insatiable romantic temperament. I think यहाँ पे what they're trying to say is ना कि दो चीजें मिलाई हैं, इसके साथ वो भी था इसलिए ऐसा कुछ हुआ है ऐसा. I think the tone of the sentence should be like that. Misrepresenting a brilliant mind, ये एक kind of relationship होता है between people of two different ethnicities, especially when one of them is black. Okay, नहीं, one of them is white. Sorry. हाँ. So a brilliant mind, I think यहाँ सूट नहीं करेगा. Aware that he had been born with an, no, I think it is combining realistic details with an insatiable romantic temperament. अब author के novels जो हैं वो interesting बनते हैं. So answer is B for Bombay. Number 33. How many times have I asked myself, when is the world going to start to make sense? There is a monster out there and it is rushing towards me over the uneven ground of consciousness. एक सवाल पूछा है मेरे भाई. There's the monster out there, okay? The answer is out there somewhere. It is as if the world is on my shoulders. There is a sea of sensibility in me. चूंकि यहाँ पे you have asked a question, you will seek an answer. That is C. The answer is out there somewhere and it is rushing towards me over the uneven ground of consciousness. Answer C हो गया. 34. थोड़ा सा लिफ्ट कर लें इसको भाई. ओके. हाँ जी. In Martin Amis' new novel, the narrator is trapped and hurtling towards a terrible secret, its resolution, and the dreadful revelations it brings. A lie to give an excruciating vision of guilt. बहुत ही painful vision of guilt दे रहा है. A lie to give an excruciating vision of guilt. To us give a vivid picture. बेटा आप देखो ना तो एक कॉमा के बीच में है, तो ग्रामेटिकली to us तो यहां पे फिट नहीं हो रहा है. All right, then you have is a painful picture of guilt ridden world again does not really solve all the questions in the narrator's mind. This again does not fit in. आप देखो in Martin's news novel is a painful doesn't fit, does not really solve. Does क्यों नहीं होगा? क्योंकि आपके पास क्या क्या है? Terrible secret, its resolution and the dreadful revelations. तो ये तो does नहीं आएगा. It should be only a. Does क्यों नहीं आएगा? क्योंकि वो सिंगुलर के लिए यूज करते हैं. And out here we got three things at least. Okay, so answer for this is A. Grammar, grammar, grammar. Last one. Victory is everything in the Indian universe, and Tendulkar will be expected to translate his genius to that effect. To contemplate any other option is to contemplate the risk of failure. All right. Failure is not an action that can be contemplated. देखो failure तो पहली बात तो action की बात ही नहीं है. This is gone. Any other action, failure action तो होता नहीं है. Failure is not an option. या to contemplate any other option is to contemplate the risk of failure. I think यहाँ साफ लिखा है victory is everything. That is it. Failure is not an option. Answer is D for Delhi. So here we stop. We have done 35 questions in this session and I expect पहले अपन solve करेंगे फिर आप solutions देखेंगे. Okay. So the students who are connected to us, they will be provided with the PDF. We solve it and then you come to the solutions. We keep doing it till the exams. I think you've got JIPMAT on 28th and then on 16th of June you will have your IPMAT Indore. Very, very important questions or examinations for career. So please stay focused और कोशिश रहेगा कि आपको इस तरह के जितना एक्सरसाइज करा पाए उतना. And for one more request, whatever you require in terms of topic wise कि सर ये पढ़ाना है, वो पढ़ना है, ये छूट गया, ये करना है, please keep telling me in the comments or you can message me directly as well. I'll try to cover almost everything. Okay? तो कुछ भी लग रहा हो, छूट रहा है या अभी रिक्वायरमेंट है उसकी, हम यहाँ पे करा देंगे. आप बेटा लगे रहो, भिड़े रहो, रुकने का नहीं, थमने का नहीं. ऑल राइट, चलिए, सी यू सून, बाय बाय.